Hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to do a very quick little recap of Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejos. This fight card was not really amazing. I mean, there was a few fun fights on there, which I will talk about. There was also a lot of forgettable fights, but without further ado, let's get right into it, starting with the main event. Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejos. Kevin Vallejos is an absolute beast. There's really no other way to put it. He's 24 years old. He is as skilled as he is. This picture was taken in his UC debut. He looks about 15 to 20 pounds heavier, and that was always one of his concerns, was that he was small for the weight class. Now the guy looks enormous. His traps are huge. The guy is just massive. Josh Emmett, questionable game plan coming into this fight, kind of just darting around and then just crashing in, and then I don't really know what he was planning on doing here. It was a pretty strange game plan. And I know that this was a 41-year-old Josh Emmett, so people are saying, oh, dude, it's just 41-year-old Josh Emmett. Kevin Vallejos isn't even that good because Josh Emmett is old and he's washed. That is true. But I'm going to say this in a Joe Rogan voice. Who does that to Josh Emmett? Kevin Vallejos literally did whatever he wanted to him. He knocked him out in 3 minutes cold. Didn't even get touched, really. Dropped him one time. He got back up to his feet. Then Josh Emmett threw a big shot, and he still didn't have his legs beneath him, so he fell down again, and then Kevin Vallejos was just teeing off on him against the cage, hitting him with knees, hitting him with big punches. Kevin Vallejos is scarily accurate as a puncher. I'm so excited for what his next fights are. A lot of people say to build him slowly. I kind of do get that. I guess that kind of makes sense. I still would like to see him get a big jump, though. Him getting Yair Rodriguez would be such a fun fight. I said that in my video on Instagram that I posted the other day. But if we just look at the rankings, everybody in the featherweight division is pretty booked right now. So Josh Emmett, Kevin Vallejos is not going to be number 11. Brian Ortega is not even really a featherweight anymore. I don't know why he's still here. He had a fight booked against Renato Moicano, and he had to pull out due to an injury. Steve Garcia is booked against Diego Lopez for the White House. Arnold Allen is booked against Malquiz Acosta, so we're going to have to wait for that. Yusuf Salal is booked against Aljamain Sterling. Gene Silva is the only one without a fight, and I guess Yair Rodriguez is too. And of course, Movsar Evloev and Lerone Murphy are booked. So the only guys in the entire division that are left without a fight booked are Yair Rodriguez, Gene Silva, Brian Ortega, and David Onama. Yeah, Kevin Vallejos, of course, is not going to have a fight booked when he's 24 hours removed from it. But I would love to see, I saw people say Kevin Vallejos versus David Onama, or Kevin Vallejos versus the winner of, who was it? Patricio Pitbull versus Dan Ige. I mean, not Dan Ige. Oh, who is Patricio Pitbull booked against? Can we see here? Does it show? I swear he has a fight booked. I don't remember who it's against, though. Oh, it's against Lucien Kita. That's right. I saw people say to do that. I saw people say to give him Yair Rodriguez. Like I said, I agree with that one. I saw a lot of people calling for the Gene Silva rematch. I don't want to see the rematch. I would love to see the rematch when Gene Silva is a champion and Kevin Vallejos has 2 more wins under his belt and he's looking unbeatable and he's 26 years old because right now he just turned 24. Still super dangerous. I would like to see him get tested against a guy who can test him on the ground. The Brian Ortega fight would be very intriguing, but I don't know why Brian Ortega would ever take that fight. It would make no sense at all. He would just get knocked out, probably. I know that Brian Ortega has never really been chinned before, but I would not be surprised if this would be the first time and the first person that does it. Because Josh Emmett was also a guy who historically never really gets chinned. Ilia Topuria fought him for 5 rounds, and while he did brutalize him, he did not chin him and knock him out. And that's why everybody's saying that Kevin Vallejos is better than Ilia Topuria, and he's going to be champion. They do have a similar rise. So I can definitely see the comparisons, and also they fight very similarly with that same boxing style. It's a gorgeous, beautiful boxing style. A little bit of a spoiler alert, I am going to do a best boxers in the UFC tier list coming within the next few days. I am going out of town tomorrow, so I'm going to film some videos now and have them ready for when I'm out of town. But yeah, Kevin Vallejos is just a beast. I'm so excited to see his rise. He's still so young. I mean, we can watch this guy fight for another 5 years and he'll still only be 29. That is insane. And he's 18-1. He's got a lot of experience for being 24 years old as well. You see a lot of these guys that are 6-0, 7-1, 8-2. Like, they don't have a lot of fights. This guy has almost 20 fights under his belt. That is ridiculous. I'm so excited to see Kevin Vallejos. Josh Emmett, there's really no point in him even continuing to fight. He's 41 years old. He has not won a fight since UFC 296. That was December 16th of 2023. That was the Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards card. That was when he knocked out Bryce Mitchell. I mean, when you have a guy who's clearly out of their prime saying, oh, I feel the best I've ever felt and I'm going to be champion, you know that it's over. And I don't want to be that guy that just shoots down his dreams because who am I to say that? But whenever you see a guy like Josh Emmett saying, oh, I'm going to be champion, or Kamaru Usman saying, I'm going to be welterweight champion, then I'm going to be middleweight champion, you just know it's over. You know what I mean? That's kind of a cope, if you will, that these guys tell themselves to try and keep that fire lit beneath them. And it's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a realist. I'm very realistic with what I can do. I would never tell myself I can't do something if I know for a fact I can't do something. I am very confident as a human being, but there are just things that I know that I cannot do that I would not tell myself because, again, you have to be realistic in this world. And Josh Emmett, I'm sorry, bro. You weren't going to be champion. You never were going to, even in your prime. I'm sorry. Like, I like Josh Emmett a lot. He's a really cool dude. He's one of those Team Alpha Male guys. I like that whole gym. But again, you just have to be realistic sometimes. I mean, Julian Robertson versus Amanda Lemos. Give Julian Robertson a title shot. Pretty great performance by her. Jose Delgado, this was just not a robbery at all. People were freaking out saying Andre Fili won because he got a takedown in the last 20 seconds of a fight. Are we being serious right now? Clear 2 rounds for Jose Delgado. Round 2 and 3 to Jose Delgado. Did get dropped in the first round with a... Was it a left count? No, it was a right counter. Marwan Rahiki versus Harry Hardwick. What a scrap for the 10 minutes that it was. I feel really bad for Harry Hardwick because the damage that he has taken in his first 2 fights are probably life-changing. I'm not saying he's going to be a vegetable by tomorrow, but you can't tell me that these fights have not taken at least 1 year off of his life. You know, the first fight, he steps in for, I don't know who, but it was against Quay Fernandez at 155, not even his weight class. Just got absolutely brutalized. Both of his legs were completely destroyed. I would be surprised if he was even able to walk 6 weeks after that fight. Very embarrassing loss. I know he wasn't meant to win that fight, but that's just a very demoralizing and embarrassing way to be put on national television. Then he fights Marwan Rahiki, and he has a good amount of success. And he is eating a lot of big shots. I want to see how many strikes he got hit with. CBS has it backwards. So he got hit with 93 strikes. Why does it say... Oh, 65 significant, 76 total. Yeah, Harry Hardwick was just getting hit with a ton of big shots. He is ridiculously tough and durable. But he did get dropped a couple times, and he got his jaw broken pretty badly. He didn't get dropped, but he got rocked really badly a couple times. And he was still moving forward and throwing back, which was really impressive. But a guy like Harry Hardwick, I just don't know what he can do in the UFC. If he faces a power puncher, he's going to get knocked out. And he just doesn't need that. He's taken, I mean, ridiculous damage. And there's just no point in... Like, I saw people say he should get cut. I don't think so. I don't think he should. That would be kind of fucked up to cut him for that. But, I mean, from a friend standpoint, bro, stop fighting. Like, you're going to continue this? I know you're still kind of young and you train with Pimblett and all that, but you're taking so much damage. And you've lost to... I mean, Quay Fernandez is a good guy. He's probably a top 25 lightweight in the world. But then you lose to a Marwan Rahiki, and you had success, but you did get brutalized against a guy like that, who's not even a top 30 featherweight in the world, not even a top 40 featherweight in the world. I mean, you're just going to get fed a guy who's not as good. And, I mean, you're already fighting at the bottom of the rankings. So I don't even really know who this guy could beat. I'm going to do a fights to make video, not just for this card, but kind of... Well, I will highlight this card, but I will do fights to make for every single division and every guy who's unbooked. But yeah, Harry Hardwick, really fun fight. Fight of the night, deservedly so. Got his jaw broken. That is just so brutal to see. Yeah, 60 strikes to the head. Was getting his legs beat up as well. Did not look too good. Oh, they had the judges here? That's cool. I didn't know they do that. Yeah, shout out to Harry Hardwick. He's extremely tough. Shout out to Marwan Rahiki for putting on a really good fight. Ion Cutelaba versus Umar Sy. I mean, I didn't do great on picks this card. I went 8-6. I picked Umar Sy. I picked... Actually, I did really good here. I mean, I picked Vallejos. I picked Julian Robertson. I picked Jose Delgado. I picked Marwan Rahiki. And I picked Bruno Silva. We'll get to that. Yeah, Ion Cutelaba just gets him in a mounted guillotine in 30 fucking seconds. And I'm sorry, in 4 minutes, and just taps him. Yeah, Umar Sy is really a bad fighter. I want to say he was ranked at one point. Around a year ago, he was ranked right before he fought Alonzo Menifield. And lost to Alonzo Menifield. Yeah, Umar Sy is just trash, dude. Ion Cutelaba is not a good fighter, but he's also not a bad fighter, so it's not the worst look in the world for you to lose to this guy, but Umar Sy was seen as a guy who could be a top 5, a top 10 guy in the light heavyweight division because of how shallow it is. But he just looks like shit. Like, he did nothing against Alonzo Menafield. Really did nothing against Ian Cutelaba. How many strikes did he land? 5, bro? Like, what are we fucking doing? 5 strikes this guy landed over 4.5 minutes, which is getting his ass, I mean, not his ass beat, but I just don't know what's next for Umar Sy. Because again, this was supposed to be a guy who was supposed to go pretty far in the division, and now you've lost to Alonzo Menafield, who isn't even good himself, and you put on a terrible fight against him, and then you lose to Ian Cutelaba in a pretty embarrassing fight. Like, what do you do next? You got the rankings test, you failed. You got the guy who's like good, but not really good, and not even anywhere near the rankings, but still has some skill test, and you failed that too. So I don't know. Like I said, we'll do fights to make for him. Bruno Silva versus Charles Johnson. This was a clear Bruno Silva win. I want to say it was rounds 1 and 3 that I had Bruno Silva winning. I mean, this was just a robbery. Pre-written scorecards as well. I'm not a guy that likes to say that because I think that's sore loserish because, yeah, I did pick Bruno Silva. But Charles Johnson, 30-27, you're out of your fucking mind. What on earth are you talking about, a 30-27 for Charles Johnson? This is what I mean. Like, who are the judges? Can we see? Anthony Maness. I don't really recognize that name. Yeah, Mike Bell, a guy who's pretty controversial, had the right scorecards here. I'm not mad at a 29-28 for Charles Johnson, but I think this was a clear 29-28 for Bruno Silva. I think it was round 1 and 3. Or was it 1 and 2? I'm not sure. I'll have to rewatch it. But I know there was 2 clear rounds that I had for Bruno Silva. I mean, yeah, I picked Bruno Silva because Charles Johnson is coming back way too quickly after getting knocked out. I know that he had every single physical disadvantage. He's way shorter, way smaller reach. He is just smaller frame. And Charles Johnson is really unorthodox and really dangerous because he throws a lot, but he wasn't doing that in the first 2 rounds here. And that's why Bruno Silva had a lot of success. But also, Bruno Silva was on a nice little win streak of his own. He submitted Young Sung Park, and he beat somebody else that I don't remember. Rafael Esteban, maybe? Can I click his name? It wasn't Rafael Esteban. Oh my gosh, who was it? Okay, why can I not click it? Why is it not sending me to his fucking thing? Bro, we serious? It was doing this. Motherfucker. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I have to do a live fact check because I can't not find out who this was. Bruno Silva. It was Hyungsung Park, and it was... I wasn't... Oh, shit, it was a 1-fight, 1 trick. Damn, I just got exposed. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought Bruno Silva won this fight. Looked really good in his last fight. And the prior 2 losses were against fucking Joshua Van and against really good competition, so there's really no shame in those. But yeah, Charles Johnson gets it done. I mean, I don't really know what's next for him. I don't really think he's ranking material. I mean, maybe like number 15. I think he's number 14 right now, but I don't know where he goes from here. He's clearly reached his ceiling, and he's not going to improve, and he's 35 years old. Historically, guys at the lighter weight classes do not get better at the age of 35. And this guy's taking a good amount of damage as well. Chris Curtis versus Miktamek Orobai. I saw a lot of people saying that if this is Eric Nixick's wrestling preparation, then Sean Strickland is fucked, and I will agree. However, they are very different styles of very different fighters. But yeah, Miktamek Orobai took him down 19 times. That's ridiculous. Was beating his ass on the ground, almost finished him. I want to say it was in round 1. Never really threatened submissions. Sorry about that. Yeah, just never really threatened submissions because Chris Curtis has pretty good submission defense, but he was getting outstruck. He was scared of the takedown. I mean, rightfully so. You got taken down 19 times. And yeah, Orobai was just whooping him on the ground, taking him down at will. He basically Khabib Nurmagomedov'd him. Was not close. He set the record for most takedowns in a 3-round fight. I'm really excited to see where Miktamek Orobai goes from here. Like I said, there will definitely be a fight to make for him. Super excited to see this guy in the welterweight division. He looked much larger as well, by the way. When he fought Jack Hermanson, he didn't really look that good. You could really tell that it was I'm sorry, not look that good. He didn't look that big. But you could really tell that he was a former lightweight fighting a former middleweight. And same story with here. Former lightweight fighting a former middleweight. They looked pretty similar size. Miktamek Orobai looked genuinely thicker in the frame and in the torso area. So good for him. Really excited to see where he goes. Let us see. Vitor Petrino versus Steven Asplund. Steven Asplund, however you say his name. This was a pretty fun fight. It was a clear Vitor Petrino win. It was a clear round 2 and 3 for him. Round 1, Steven Asplund stole with the knockdown, and he almost finished him and kind of emptied his gas tank. I mean, this was just your basic heavyweight fight where both guys have 1 round of cardio, and I mean, then round 2 and 3 happens. They don't really do much. They land a couple big flurries. Vitor Petrino was landing some good combinations, though. He does get clipped a lot, as does Steven Asplund. He gets hit way too much. Like, he has very shitty striking defense. He telegraphs his jab. Like, everything he telegraphs, he's got to improve in the striking side. But Steven Asplund, I mean, everybody was picking him to be the next guy, the next champion. And it's weird because he put on such a high pace against with Sean Sharaf. And now he just gassed out in round 2. I mean, once Vitor Petrino took him down and was threatening submissions, then he kind of just emptied his gas tank with that grappling exchange. Good submission defense and good job getting back to his feet for Steven Asplund, but I mean, he's another guy with a ceiling of being number 13 in the division. There's really not much that he's going to go from here. I don't know how old he is. I really want to see, though. I want to say he's 32, but I could be wrong. Not that age matters a ton in the heavyweight division, though. How old is he? He is 27. God damn. I'm very wrong. 27 years old, fighting out of Minnesota. I knew he didn't have many fights, but I thought he just started way late because of his weight loss. But, I mean, yeah, there is a lot of time for Asplund to get better and fight more guys, but I just don't really see it happening. I don't see it going that well because there are just so many holes in his game. Vitor Petrino, I mean, we thought that him moving up to heavyweight would remove his gas tank problems, but that just was not the case at all. He is just getting gassed every single late. He has 4 minutes of cardio at best. And that's if the first round is pretty uneventful. If you throw in some takedowns there, or you throw in, you know, some pocket brawling, he's gassing it in 3 minutes. As simple as that. But Vitor Petrino was once a heavyweight prospect that I really believed in. Him and Kennedy and Nzechukwu. I can just see Vitor Petrino maxing out as a top 10 guy just because this division is so shallow. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's the steroids that allegedly the steroids that are fucking up his gas tank, but I'm not sure, man. I really wanted to see this guy become champion. Not champion, but you know what I mean. Like top 5, 6 guy whenever the Volkovs are gone and whenever the Blazes are gone and aged out of the division. I wanted to see this guy near the top, but I don't think that's going to happen. What was like Elijah Smith versus Su Young Yu. What did I tell you? I told you Elijah Smith is a fucking beast. Everybody was picking Su Young Yu because Elijah Smith can't grapple and he can't defend takedowns, blah, blah, blah. Now, yeah, Su Young Yu did get some takedowns, but Elijah Smith got back up to his feet. Like, he was never getting held down. He was never what am I trying to say? He was never in danger of being submitted, sorry. Yeah, Elijah Smith just cracks him with a big left hand on the feet, drops him, and then goes for the finish on the ground, and then goes for a rear naked choke and gets it. Beautiful fucking finish by Elijah Smith. Crazy first 2 wins in his UFC career. The slam knockout and then that. I'm so excited to see where Elijah Smith goes. This guy is 23 years old. Really good gym. Just really cool, dude. Coming out of Colorado Springs. I like a lot of those guys from that area because I have family out in Colorado Springs, so I pay attention to the Colorado guys. But I'm super fucking excited to see where Elijah Smith goes. And, of course, this is a guy that we need to push slowly. You know, maybe give him another grappler who's not too bad. I saw people saying give him Alessandro Taporia. Get the fuck out of here. What are you saying? Why would you put 2 great prospects against each other? But I'm really excited to see where this guy goes. Most definitely you will see a fight to make for him next. Build him slowly. I don't think he's like a Vallejos where this guy is just ridiculously great. I'm not saying he's not, but he's just rather untested. Like, I want to see him go 3 rounds before. I want to see him go 3 rounds against a guy. I want to see him go 3 rounds against a guy who's really tough and has a good chin, maybe, and also can mix it in the wrestling. I want to see him go against a guy like that to where I can really make an accurate assessment. But right now, I'm picking this guy to be a top 15 lock, and maybe top 10. We'll see. We'll see how he goes against these guys. Who is next? Balaji Oki versus Manuel Sosa. Really fun back and forth fight. Manuel Sosa was in control for the most part, though. Balaji Oki did have a lot of moments of success. He was just getting cracked with a lot of big shots and pretty bad striking defense. Balaji Oki kind of strikes like Israel Adesanya. If you watch the first 60 seconds of this fight, like he's throwing the teeps to the body just like Adesanya is. He's bouncing around just like Adesanya is. He's striking like he looks. You can tell he models his game after Adesanya just a little bit. But Manuel Sosa was just landing the better and the more powerful shots. Knocked him down a couple times. Almost finished him in round 2, I want to say. And then round 3 was kind of just putting a clinic on him and then just hits him with like a Michael Chandler telegraphed overhand and just fucking puts him out. Not out cold, but I mean, he was out cold. Yeah, he definitely was out cold for a little bit, but he got back up after not too long. I mean, really fun fight, genuinely fun fight. Great win for Manuel Sosa. I picked Balaji Oki to win this fight because I just thought that his performance against Michael Aswell was really impressive, and his fight against Mason Jones was decent, but I was really high on his performance against Michael Aswell, even though that's pretty low-level competition, but I just figured maybe he could get a finish here. He's super dangerous early on, and he throws bombs. Maybe he'll clip Manuel Sosa early on, but that did not happen, unfortunately. So back to the drawing board for Balaji Oki. I want to say he's the only Belgian fighter in the UFC. Manuel Sosa, I don't really know if I'm going to do a fight to make for him because, I mean, I don't really care to be like, I mean, I do. Like, I'm interested in Manuel Sosa fighting, but I'm not scouring Topology and like, oh my gosh, who could he fight next? Oh, he could fight this guy. Oh, nah, this guy would. No, he could fight this guy. This would be good. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. But we shall see. Who is next? Brad Tavares versus Eric Anders. Really back and forth fight. A lot of people said that Brad Tavares should have won. I disagree. I think this was a clear 29-28 for Eric Anders. I want to say people have this 30-27. Yeah, I don't agree with the 30-27. And who do you know? It's fucking Anthony Maness again. This was a clear 29-28. Really happy for Eric Anders going out on a win. I did not expect him to retire. I mean, of course, these guys are both near the ends of their careers, and they've taken a lot of fights, and they're pretty up there in age. But I did not expect Eric Anders to retire. But I'm very happy for him. Really cool speech. Had his son out there, and you could tell that he was not in it mentally, and that's what he did say. He said that he doesn't have the balls in it anymore, which is good. That's when you should leave the sport. As soon as you know that you're not fully in it mentally, then I would say that's the right time to take an exit and take a back seat. You know, maybe go out and coach, because I want to see he's out in the MMA lab out in Arizona, I believe. So maybe he's just going to do coaching full-time and cornering guys. There's a lot of good Arizona fighters that are out there. No, he's Vegas, right? No. He's Arizona. I swear he's Arizona. Let me see. Because he trains with Drakkar Klose and shit, right? Isn't he Arizona? Spartan MMA. I swear he's out in Arizona. Minnesota. Bro, I promise. Okay, I promise. Maybe that's like a gym that he trained at once or twice. I promise you. Okay, hold on. No, this is actually fucking me up now. Because I swear he was training in Arizona. Yeah, fighting out of Birmingham, Alabama. But then, bro, what? There's no way he trains out of Minnesota. Maybe he did a few camps in Arizona. Maybe I'm just wrong. Damn, that's embarrassing. Whatever. But yeah, shout out to Eric Anders. Had a pretty decent career. Good for him. Good for him going out on a win. I always like seeing guys go out on a win rather than going out on 4 losses in a row and 3 KO losses. You know what I mean? You never want to see that. Eric Anders was always really tough. So shout out to him. Via Mesquita fucking runs through Montserrat Rendon. Beat her fucking... Like, this is pretty bad. She was just cracking her on the feet big time. I want to say she knocked her down, right? Oh no, she just took her down and then just got in the hooks and then submitted her. It's just fucking beautiful. Montserrat Rendon did 0 strikes. Jesus. Yeah, this was really rough to watch. Bia Mesquita is going to be really good. I don't know how old she is. I would fucking love if I could actually click the name and it would take me to her profile, but of course it doesn't do that. But yeah, Bia Mesquita is going to be really good. Heitor Sosa versus Luan Lacerda. This is a pretty forgettable fight. I can't really imagine I'll ever watch this fight again. I mean, it was cool, but I mean, not really much happened here. And Piera Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes. I picked Sam Hughes. Don't really know why. I want to say she's out. She's training out in Dallas. My factory, is it? Hold on. We got to do another live fact check. Like, she got her first win. Her last fight was her first win in like a super long time, right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Fortis MMA. I'm sorry. Fortis MMA out in Dallas. Yeah, I picked Sam Hughes. I don't really know why. She kind of sucks. But I was like, oh, she got a big submission win in her last fight. So maybe, there's a fire lit out of her, and she had a really cool post-fight speech in her last fight. So maybe, maybe she'll come into this fight just different, but I don't know. I want to say this was a pick 'em as well. I don't know if they show the odds. Do they show the odds? Pre-fight? No, they don't show the odds. Um, but yeah, overall, this card was not great. I give it maybe a 5 out of 10. I mean, I can't imagine watching many of these fights, in my free time. I can obviously go watch this and I'll watch a few other fights for film purposes, but I mean, I'm probably not watching fucking like what I mean. Like I'm not rewatching Eric Anders, Brad Tavares. I'm not rewatching Luan Lacerda, Edger Sosa. But yeah, this card was okay. I'm very much looking forward to next week, next Saturday, UFC London. Let's do a quick recap and run through the card. Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. Spoiler alert, I'm most likely picking Movsar Evloev. Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell. Why the fuck is this the co-main event? What are we doing? MVP versus Sam Patterson. Why was this fight made? I mean, Sam Patterson is on a really good streak right now. Why would you put him against a guy who's a fan favorite and a guy who was top 8 at middleweight, but now he's going down to welterweight? I don't know what the fuck's going on with MVP. But this was such a pointless... Like, you should not put these guys against each other. It makes no sense. You're trying to build Sam Patterson. Iwo Baranushki versus Austin Lane. I don't really know how Austin Lane is going to make 205. I'm pretty sure he was weighing in at 250. Like, how the fuck is this guy making 205? That makes no sense at all. CLD Roman Dolidze. I'd like to see how CLD deals with the jiu-jitsu of Roman Dolidze, but I can honestly just see him cracking him big time on the feet. Curtis Campbell, Danny Silva. Like, this is on the main card. Are we being dead serious right now? Mason Jones versus Axel Sola. Axel Sola put on a really fun fight in his last fight. Is he moving down? Because I want to say his first fight was at welterweight. I'm almost positive his first fight was at welterweight against Reese McKee. Does it say the weight? If you click this, does it say? Yeah, he fought at 170, so he's going down to 155. That's pretty interesting. I'm probably going to favor Mason Jones here. Axel Sola just showed that he was really beatable. He was getting clipped a lot. This is a back-and-forth war with Reese McKee. Mason Jones is a really solid boxer. Nathaniel Wood versus Lucien Keita. I'm probably going to favor Nathaniel Wood here. Lucien Keita was a beast in a promotion that I don't remember the name of. Started with an S, I want to say. And then he had the fight against Patricio Pitbull, and then he missed weight. And then I thought they cut him, but I guess they didn't cut him. So now they're giving him Jesus Christ. They're giving him a Nathaniel Wood fight. Nathaniel Wood, I don't even know why they're giving him a guy who's never fought in the UFC. The guy's on a nice little win streak right now. He beat Jose Delgado, allegedly. He beat, the Mexican guy. What's his fucking name with the tattoos? Oh my gosh. He beat Morgan Charrier, and he beat... It starts with a D. The guy's name starts with a D. I'm so mad that I can't think of his name right now. I'm recording this very early in the morning. But yeah, he's on a nice little win streak. I don't know why you're giving him a UFC debutant. Give him a guy who's right outside the rankings. Mario Pinto versus Felipe Franco. I'm very excited to see Mario Pinto fight. He hasn't fought in a while. After he beat the fuck out of Jonata Deniz. Montas Kondratavicius versus Antonio Tricoli. I have no idea why Antonio Tricoli is in the UFC, and I have no idea who Montas is. I'm just going to pick against Antonio Tricoli because he's awful. Louis Sutherland versus Brando Pericic. I'm very excited to see the return of Brando Pericic. I want to say the last time he fought was on the Dominic Reyes versus Carlos Ulberg card. Shamrock, really excited to see him fight too, versus Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. I may favor Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi in this matchup. I may. Chanel Dyer versus Ravina Oliveira. I don't know who Chanel Dyer is, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably going to pick Ravina Oliveira. Did she get a submission win in her last win? In her last fight? Of course I can't tell. Whatever. I want to say she got a submission win in her last fight. But maybe I'm wrong here. Let's see. Melissa Mullins versus Luana Carolina. I'm probably going to pick Luana Carolina here. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going Melissa Mullins. I mean, this card is not as good as I once thought it was, but there are a few matchups that I am very excited for. And then the week after next, you have Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. Pretty fun card. Moicano Duncan. This is a decently fun card. 327. Like, we are in for a very entertaining next, honestly, 3 months. Like, we got the White House card. We don't really know any of the fights for this except for the main event. We know quite a few of the China cards fights. I'm really excited for those. Alan Costa, I love that this fight is made. I called for that in my video. 328, I will be in attendance for this. Super fucking hyped to see this card. I think there's only 3 fights in this card that have been released. Or no, there's 5. They just released a few. Big Marcel, like there's Taito Iwasa versus, oh my gosh, what's his name? Now I gotta fact check right now. Oh my gosh. It just got announced yesterday. Shout out to Big Marcel. Nobody does it better than him. It was against a guy who was like 0-2 in UFC. He just got beat by... Oh, Sean Sharaf. Yeah, Taito Iwasa versus Sean Sharaf. What else was put on this card? There was a couple other ones. GM3 versus Jacob Malkoon. I like that. Cam Rouston versus Robert Brychek. I'm probably going Cam Rouston by TKO, even though Robert Brychek is really tough and he's got big power. Junior Tafa versus Kevin Christian. Why are either guys in the UFC? Why do they keep giving shots to Junior Tafa? He just got submitted in his last fight. Steve Eruseg versus Tim Elliott is also on the Perth card. I love that. That's really fun. That's a pretty obvious fight to make. Would like to see the grappling exchanges in that. And then these 2 fights, which are badass. Yeah, we are in for a very entertaining next few months. Very excited for the state of the UFC right now. Is there like any fights on this card at all? I want to say there's 2 fights announced for the UFC Winnipeg card. But that's all I have for you right now. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at VinceMMA1. Go to 3punchconvo.com, use my code VinceMMA for a first free month, and thank you very much for watching.